All right, good afternoon from Franklin, North Carolina. Um, got some notes. Just want to do a little quick, I don't know, trail summary recap kind of a thing. Um, it's been 105 miles, 13 days, which is kind of stupid because you know what, 105 miles, you could drive there in like 2 hours, and here we are spending almost 2 weeks. Anyway, it's fun. But no, just wanted to touch on a couple of things. First one being the weather. Um, we've had more rain, more more bad. I shouldn't say bad. More non-desirable weather than we have had sunshine and just nice days and everything else. We've had a total of 5 out of 13 that I would call nice days. A couple, four really bad ones, and the other ones were just like somewhere in between. But no, the weather's been it's been what it is. You know, and you hear the stories from last year and the year before where yes, you hiked in wet clothes, you hiked in wet shoes. Um, you know, the day that we went into Neil Gap to dry everything out there, I had literally the last four things that were not soaked on. And today coming into Franklin out of, what is it, Black Rock Gap and coming up over that hill into Winding Stair, I had the last of my not wet clothes on. When we went to the laundromat today, my wet clothes bag, I think weighed like 12 pounds. It was just soaked. But anyway, but the weather's been the weather. You can't change it. You make the best out of what it is. I just wish it was a little nicer. Okay, there we go. Second thing, trail magic. Ran into fresh ground, at Gooch Cap, a week ago, and then he had moved up. He bounces. It's his Leapfrog Cafe. He bounces about 100 miles, and the next I think down here at Winding Stair Gap today and tomorrow. I think he's figured he'd run out of food then, and then he's running north up to somewhere up around in the Smokies or out this Davenport Gap, just outside of the Smokies or something. But we've had a few trail matching. His was kind of the highlight because he's making literally fresh ground coffee. He's making the banana pancakes. I had a couple this morning when we ran into him up there at the Gap. He's fresh fruit. Had a tangerine, one of those little halos. Awesome. Dumb little thing. It was kind of funny. And don't forget the Kool-Aid. I had me a couple glasses of Kool-Aid. That was good. All right. Let's see. Third thing, different people on the trail. There is, I'm sure it's the same every year. There is every make, model, walk of life, stage of life person out here on the trail. You've got the younger people. Okay, I'm 48 right now, and you've got people out there that are 20, 22, and don't get me wrong. I want to trip them when they run by me up a hill. Just to slow them down a little bit. But they're already, they're 3 days into it and they're pushing 16, 18 miles a day. I know, early riser. I know you were doing 20s, brother, but I ain't doing 20s, man. I'm happy with my 12 to 15s, but I do, but there's just crazy people. There's just crazy different people. Not crazy people, but just the differences in the people. You've got people who are, doing, 10 miles a day. You've got people who are doing 5 and taking 6 billion pictures. They're all hiking their trail. And it's kind of neat. We've got long-legged people that Underdog and I, we wish we had their legs because, as they're running up that 1,000-foot climb, we are not running at all. We're barely moving. You can time us with the sundial heading up that hill. But, it is just, and everybody's nice. I have not met a single person on this trail that was not, pleasant, nice, talkative, want to know what you're coming from, where you're from, what you're doing, why you're out here. So it's been great, that kind of a thing. Um, let's see, number four, shelters. There are some nice shelters out here. I had not planned on sleeping in shelters as much as I have, but because of the rain, I really didn't want to go setting things up in the weather. You know, when it's coming down so hard that it's so the rain is so thick that it looks like fog. It is just not. So I've been sleeping in. You know, I think I've slept out 3 nights, 3 or 4 nights out of the 13. You know, yes, we spent the night at Neil's Gap, and tonight we'll spend here in the Microtel in Franklin. But 3 nights I've spent not in a shelter. So I have been able to hammock out only those 3 nights. So it feels kind of a waste carrying that probably 2 to 3 pounds worth of hammock gear, and I can't even use it. But yeah, with the next couple of days, we're supposed to get some good weather. So with a little luck, I'll be swinging in the trees then. And the difference in the shelters, like the one last night, literally looked like a shed in the backyard that you would put firewood in or your tools, maybe your lawnmower, to double-decker wood and, wood beams and pegs driven in and just, very nice. And the funny thing is some people talk about mice in the shelters. Any night that we've been in the shelters, let's see, which one was it? Deep Gap? There was one that we saw that night, but other than that, he wasn't even worried about our stuff. He was eating an acorn up in the rafters, chewing, and it took him about 7 minutes. I timed it, yes, okay. It was that loud, and I was that bored. It took him about 7 minutes to chew that acorn, another couple minutes to run back down. You could hear him scurrying, find one outside, come back in, get back up there, and chew it again. So it was like a 15-minute rotation. I listened to it for probably, we'll say 3 rotations, and then finally I just giggled myself to sleep. So it is what it is. Let's see. Getting stronger on the trail. I have definitely noticed in the last couple days that, I'm not going to say I got my trail legs because, I probably won't get my trail legs till I get rid of my trail gut. But I definitely noticed my ability to climb the hills is definitely improving. I was telling Billy this morning, I think it was, that I definitely catch my wind, catch my breath, a lot quicker. If I do stop on a hill to just make sure your footing is good or whatever it is, I definitely feel myself catching my breath quicker, easier. And sometimes, there's hills now that literally 2 weeks ago, I would have, been looking for the elevator button to push to see how it can get me to the top. But now it's just, okay, let me get there. It's just going to take an extra minute or two, but I definitely feel myself getting stronger. The one thing that I did notice that I don't know if it's maybe just the soles of my shoes. I did end up buying today at Three Eagles Outfitters right here in Franklin. It's literally 2 doors up from the Microtel we're in. I bought some the Super Feet, so hopefully maybe with a little more support, arches and that kind of a thing, it might feel better because that's the only thing. Legs feel great. The only thing that was kind of iffy was just my feet towards the end of the day. A couple of days that we had nice days, I was able to stop in the middle of the day for a half hour, take my shoes off, stretch everything out, put my feet up, and do all that, and then hiked another 5, 8, 10 miles, whatever it was, and it was it definitely felt better. But I noticed that we'll see how that hurts, if that helps with a little late day hurting, I should say. But it's coming along. Well, this next week will be a good test because we're getting into some of the bigger mountains, heading towards the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and then towards Fontana Dam, and heading into the Smokies. So within a week, hopefully, good Lord willing, we'll be heading into the Smokies. So that's kind of another cool milestone. Crossing out of Georgia, awesome. Coming up to the 100-mile mark, even though it was pouring rain. I showed the video, the little 2-second shot up there at the fire tower on Albert's mom. Okay, quick side note. Albert, if I ever get a hold of you, I'm gonna, like Jackie Gleason said, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. Man, that climb up Albert Mountain, it wasn't so much that it was hard, I should say, but you couldn't. Rain pouring down. It was a river coming down that those rocks, and it was literally hang onto your poles in one hand, grab a tree, grab a rock, and pull yourself up. It was a difficult, probably 3, 4, 500 foot climb right there before you get to the fire tower, man. But that was a difficult one, but we got up it. We got up it, and we hit the 100-mile mark just on the other side of the hill. Would have been nice to have some views up there, but it is what it is, and we'll get our views. The last thing on my list today is the food changes. It is funny how there are certain things I don't want anymore. There are certain granola bars that I'll fling them. I won't leave no trace, but I just don't want this stuff anymore. It is funny how your taste change on the trail. I had somebody ask me, "Can I send you some food somewhere?" And I text them back and said no, because it was probably about 100 miles up the trail, and if I get there, I don't know if I'm still gonna want what I'm eating now. So it's I don't know. I've had a couple of people ask, do you need anything? Do you want anything or whatever? And right now, I'm still learning everything on the trail. Every day, it's just another 12 to 14 miles, 10, 12, whatever it is, mileage. Looking to see what hills we're going up, what valleys, what passes, what views, what significant mileposts or anything else. So I'm still learning. 100 miles into it, almost 2 weeks into it, I'm still learning, man. So I don't know what I need. If you guys want to send something, get a hold of Lindsay, my wife, send something to her, and then I can work it with her or something. But I will say one thing: Google Play cards. I did not put any music on my phone here simply because I didn't know how much space I would take up with making the videos, with making Instagram shots and all this other stuff, because I know this stuff does take up a lot of room. The nice thing is, as soon as I send a video to YouTube, I delete everything, and I do have some space in there. But that'd be the only thing, just to get some music on there, so I can, because I did get one Google Play card. Lindsay sent me one, or gave me the numbers for it, and I was able to download some music, and it is amazing what that music in that ear, how it does lift your spirits and get you up over that hill sometimes. So, but that'd be the only thing. Right now, I don't need anything. We're doing good. All my gear is working out all right, except when you come out of a resupply town like Franklin, or when we went into Hiawassee, you eat your food away. You're getting down. You got a pound of food left in your bag, and then you throw 4 more days worth of food back in there, and it's always a hill. You always have to climb up over a hill, I should say, when you get out of a trail down. But I'm trying to think. What else? Oh, hostels. The hostel there at Neil Gap, nice, clean, simple, nothing too big. $20 for the bunk and the shower, and it was all good. Top of Georgia Hostel, we stayed there, as you saw in a previous video. Nice place. Bob Sirpax-a-lot, him and Carrie, whose trail name was Carrie On. They did a good job there. That place was clean. That smelled when we get in there. The cleaning people had just left. It smelled clean, like clean. Lysol, disinfectant, shampooed and cleaned every surface. Clean. It was nice. So you don't mind paying maybe a little bit more for, that was $30, but that included the shuttle into Hiawassee, 10 miles away or whatever it was, and pick us up, bring us back out, and then another shuttle up to the trailhead, because it's a 0.56, I think Bob said, miles up from the top of Georgia back up to the Dix Creek Gap trailhead. So, but that was well worth it and clean. breakfast in the morning is a cereal, nothing too crazy. As you saw from before, I had my first soda of the trail there. I was trying not to. Haven't had one since. Water. Just drinking a lot of water. Up to my biggest day when it was warm, I drank 4 1-liter bottles of water a day. Most of the time it's between 2 and 3, but that one, I couldn't drink enough of it, man. I was just, I needed water. But that's about it. I figured that'll be a good, touch base with everybody. We'll do this again when we get up into the Smokies somewhere. Maybe if we go into Gatlinburg, or if we once we get out of the Smokies, wherever 200 miles takes us, up there somewhere. It'll be just a little recap of what's happened from here to there. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for following along. Comments are great. Positive comments. Don't need any negative ones. There's enough negativity, in the shape of a 5,000-foot mountain in front of you. Don't need it. But we're going over it. Comments are great, everybody. It's appreciate everything. All the well-wishing, the comments on both my Instagram page there, Wandering Dad 5, and on here on YouTube. It's been great. It's definitely an encouragement. Be patient. I know you've heard it from probably past hikers, but sometimes you have a signal at a shelter. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes I'll stop and sit down in the middle of the day when I find a log that I won't fall off of, and reply back to some of the Instagram posts or some of the YouTube comments. So I do read them. It might not be that day, but I do read them, and it's again greatly appreciated. All right, guys. Again, thank you. Stay tuned for more. Probably the next video coming out, depending on maybe Wi-Fi or service or how long I can be at the knock. Another 3 days out. That'll probably be the next video coming out, and then after that, Fontana. Again, provided I get a good signal and everything else. But please comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Like, no dislikes. Just keep it in my head, all positive. Everything's positive. All right. Again, thanks for everybody who's following along. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you down the trail leaving Franklin. All right. Bye, guys.